Now do the same thing on the back side. Glue both surfaces, wait till it gets very tacky. Again, the longer you wait, the better. So 5 minutes is not a bad thing. The tackier it is, the stronger it holds. Now we're going to cover the tip of the sword. We'll be doing this on both sides. When you tape it, don't pull it down. You don't want to crush the foam. You want to leave the foam so that it gives you that padding and extra protection that you put it on there for. The stabbing end you want to be soft. Alright, we've put a crisscross pattern of tape, and we're going to do the same on the pommel side. Now, those open pieces of tape, we're going to secure them. And we'll do that by wrapping a piece of tape around the circumference of our blade. This will hold those pieces of tape in place. You don't need to cover up all the foam. You want to leave room for the foam to breathe. Now that you're done with that, it's time to put the cloth tape on. In this case, we're using hockey tape. It's got an excellent surface and it adheres really well. Note how we're starting this. We're going to put pieces of cloth parallel to each other along the very top. Note how the angle that the tape is going on. The top is not completely flat, so feel free to tape the tape on an angle so that, there we go, you can see how I've tapered it around the edges. Now we can wrap a piece around the edges to seal the end pieces of the tape we put across the top, just like we did with the duct tape earlier. Now, as we finish this up, we'll be doing the same thing on the pommel, taped the same way that we just did on our tip. Now let's take a look at what to do if, when we push down on the top, if the air doesn't come out of that open-celled foam, that means it doesn't have enough openings for the air to escape. So go ahead and use your razor blade to poke some holes along the edge on the top, and that will really help the foam to be able to snap back. Now let's take a look at taping the handle. Even though the silicone caulk is going to adhere quite well, we're going to reinforce that by putting some duct tape from the blade to the handle and the pommel to the handle. Tape it like this. We're going to you put your first piece on, and then do another piece on the opposite side that you just did, like this. So when you're done, you should have a piece at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock around the circumference. We'll do the same thing on the pommel. Now, we're ready to finish up the sword. Another technique for taping this is to use your razor blade and bevel the foam. Cut the foam down so that the blade kind of scoops down toward the handle. But I like to do it this way. But just so you're aware, that's an option. Now let's tape. We're going to use our cloth tape to finish our sword, wrapping it around like we did before. Now we're going to take some pieces of tape and lay them along the base of the blade. And again, they're not going to go in a straight fashion. So we'll start with one piece, and then on the opposite side do the same thing, and let it just go along the contour of the duct tape. Now we'll do it again, perpendicular to our initial pieces. So again, we would have them at quarter points around the circumference. Now we'll finish it off by adding a strip of tape to close off all the edges that we put. Here's another example of this on the pommel. Finishing up those pieces of tape Now let's finish the handle. Well, that's going to do it. Your sword is ready to go. There are some things you can do to improve on this design. You can sew a tube of cloth that you can put over the blade. It'll help prolong the life of the foam, and then tape the ends if you like. You can use duct tape and cover the whole thing to create sort of a silver looking sword. You can put it, lengths of it all the way along like that, wrap it around the handle, but you're ready to go. Have fun!